Hi everyone. Today we're going to talk about something a little bit different. I've been asked a question sometimes, and actually I've wondered the question myself from time to time over the years, and that is, why would an adult male want to collect toys and especially dolls? So I want to address that issue or question today by going into some of my own reasons why I collect the things that I do. And before I do that, I do want to welcome anyone watching from Sigma Tau and any former Sigma Tau employees who may be watching as well. Thank you for viewing this and viewing my other videos. Now, on to the main topic. First of all, I want to say that I collect a wide variety of things. One of the things I collect that I've talked about before, I believe, is Wizard of Oz collectibles because I'm a big Wizard of Oz fan. So just as an example, this is a Tin Man figure or doll, whatever word you want to use is fine with me. I've always felt like that some people really struggle if you use the word doll and you're a male. That was always kind of, taboo. Well, to me, it didn't matter because to me, this is a doll. It's also a figure. So the word didn't really matter. But anyway, this is a plastic toy of the Tin Man, obviously. And I have a lot of Wizard of Oz collectibles from over the years. You also have to keep in mind that I've been collecting toys and figures and dolls for 35 years approximately, somewhere in there. 30 to 35 years. So it's a lot of collecting. And I worked at Target for 7 years. I had a good employee discount and I had the access to a lot of sales at the time. So I got a lot of stuff in those 7 years when I worked at Target whenever I could afford it. And since then, of course, I also get a lot of things from flea markets, eBay, other kind of sales like that. And that is, when I'm buying. Obviously, you can only buy so much. You can only store so much, as I have found. So you do have to limit it somewhat. Um, Another type of thing that I collect that people don't really know is Star Trek figures. Over the years, I've collected a lot of Star Trek figures and toys. Now, I have previously mentioned on some of the videos I've done some of the figures like this one. This is a 1970s Mego not Klingon, Spock. Well, he is a Klingon, but Spock figure from the Star Trek series. And this is an original. There's been some made over the years that are newer, obviously. But besides that, I have a lot of the Playmate Star Trek figures over the years, many still in packages. I did a video recently with some that are out of packages of the actual original crew and some of the other aliens and villains. But I also have, from when I worked at Target, things like this. This is the Klingon attack cruiser that you see pictured here. And it is a great ship. Now, as you see, I've never taken it out of the box. Something like this, I only got to collect. I didn't get to play with. In fact, I don't really play with these toys in the normal sense of playing with them. I mainly just display this stuff, especially as busy as I've been sometimes in recent years. It's not like I can have a lot of time. So anyway, it's mainly for display. Now, something like this, just so you know, is from 1993, and one of these days I will sell it because a lot of these things I bought to sell. I bought as an investment, and it's paid off in a lot of ways. I also have a lot of superhero toys like the ones that you see above me. I mean, this is just some of them, but there's quite a few others. I want to show one today that I don't think I've showed before, and that is this one here, who I'm sure some of you recognize as the Green Arrow. Here's his bow, and he's got arrows in the back here. Well, they don't come out, but they're there. And he has a hat that's over there. It fell off, but this is a great Green Arrow figure. Again, it's a Mego from the 1970s, so I'm really a huge fan of those toys and always have been. I've always loved them. And as I've shown in a couple of the videos I've done, I have a wide variety of these. The superheroes were definitely my favorite, but also the Planet of the Apes, the Star Trek, the Wizard of Oz figures, and Waltons and Starsky and Hutch, and on and on and on. There were just so many, and I really wish that Mego had gone on past when they did. But some companies now are making some great replica figures or new figures like that. And then one other type of toy I want to show you today are these. I'm sure you guys recognize these. These are Simpsons figures, Homer and Marge. And I have right here next to me on an old coffee table a whole set of Simpsons and the Village pieces. It's a Simpsons Village. So when I ask myself, why do I like this kind of stuff? Why have I for years collected them and enjoyed them? One of the things I would say when people ask me that is that I've always liked miniatures, miniature villages, miniature houses, therefore, people. And when I was really young, I had literal little people. That's what they're called, Fisher Price little people. And in fact, I have some in a closet in my bedroom that I got on eBay in the last couple years because I hadn't had any in many years, and I just thought that would be a neat collectible. So a lot of times it's just for the collectible factor of it. Plus, one of these days when I retire, I would like to be able to use some of this to help towards my retirement. Now, on to the main subject, which is dolls, because it seems to me over the years that people just do not understand why a male, especially an adult male, would collect dolls. For instance, Barbie dolls, like some of the ones you have seen on these videos, and behind me, at least one that we see right now. So I want to try to answer that question. I'm going to start with just me. Why do I collect Barbie among these other things that you've seen tonight? One of the reasons that I started collecting Barbie because when I grew up from the little people and from some of these other figures, I saw Barbie in the stores, and what I liked about it was the look, the glamour, the outfits, Ken dolls. I liked them all. Um, I also liked the variety, the types of dolls. There were different ethnicities and different dolls of all kinds, short hair, long hair, curly hair. I just liked the variety and the fact that these dolls could be a village of their own, so to speak. And so I was really drawn to them. And I couldn't tell you the exact reason other than what I've said already. So I started collecting them at an early age, 16 or so, when I was first working and could afford it myself. Of course, back then it was limited, was on a very limited budget. So, you know, I don't know in a year if I had two, three, I have no idea. But I got them as I could and among other things. And that continued for a period of time. But yeah, that's the biggest thing I think is that as a gay man, I enjoy glamour, I enjoy style, and I like a beautiful woman. Not for the reasons that straight men do, but for our own reasons, we enjoy that as gay men. And for years, I have watched pageants and I judge pageants, and same thing because I know style, I know glamour, and I know when a woman looks good. And to me, Barbie epitomized that. I mean, of course, we all know Barbie is not a real person. Barbie is not a real being, but she is a real toy. And I think one of the best toys of all times. And I think the fact that she's been around this many years at this point shows that. There's been a lot of competition, and she's still going strong. So for me, that's the basic reason about why I would like to collect dolls, or Barbie in particular. Because when it comes to that kind of doll, I really don't collect any other types. I certainly never got into Bratz dolls or Monster High. To me, those were just not for me. But Barbie and the glamour, for instance, this is a good example of one. Um, this is a doll from the 90s, I believe. Let me just double check that. Yeah, if I can see it. 1998. This is Pink Inspiration Barbie. and she was a Toys R Us exclusive. Um, at least I'm pretty sure that's the way I remember it. Pink Inspiration. And one of the things I really liked about this doll is the hair. I love a great updo. Again, that goes back to the glamour. And you know, there's probably not a lot of things about me that are sort of stereotypically gay, but there's certainly some. And I think the fact that I like dolls and that I like pageants, those are stereotypically gay type things. And I own that. I have no problem with it. I think it's a great and interesting part of life for me. So, not for everybody, of course, but for me. But anyway, this is another reason that I would point this doll out is the outfit. You know, at the time they were doing a lot of the big boofy type dresses, and this is a much more controlled and trim style to it. So that is one of the reasons I liked it. And I've had it all these years. So this is one that's of course still in the box. One other doll I want to show you right now, and this one I have shown before, is this doll. There's a beautiful Redhead Doll, and I've always thought this is just an exquisite looking doll. And the gown is beautiful. This green looks great with the red hair and the eyeshadow that they've done here. Very detailed, and the deep red lips. So, and the jewelry, you know, just thing after thing about this was just a perfect doll, if you ask me, in so many ways. So, I think that explains why I have collected dolls over the years and why I like it. So it's just something that, you know, everybody has things they like. Everybody, well, not everybody, but a lot of people have things that they collect. And for me, this is what I do. I do action figures, I do dolls, and I do other kinds of figures. So it's a wide variety, but the Barbie dolls are something that gets more attention because, first of all, there are a lot of them here. And second, you know, it is unusual for a man to collect Barbie dolls, but it's really not that unusual. It's just not talked about a lot and it's not heard of. And I have connected with a lot of doll collectors on the internet, mostly on Facebook these days. And one thing I've noticed is there's a hell of a lot more male collectors than anybody realizes. And I think everybody has their own reasons, probably, why they collect Barbie or other fashion dolls. But I do think that the ones I've touched on are probably ones you would hear from a lot of people as to why they like to collect them. Another reason I would say is a lot of people like to customize the dolls or do their own artistic touches to them or redo them completely. Another thing would be because they like to do photography with the dolls. I've done some of that, but not a lot. And they like to do set up sort of like dioramas where they've got scenes. It's just a lot of different things, and it's something that keeps people interested in things around them. So, in this case, toys and dolls for me. It's just one more way to collect and have something fun that you find fun in your life. So, in the end, I would just like to sum up by saying I think that the main reason that males like to collect dolls in this case versus the other type of action figures that I also collect is just simply for the glamour of the doll, the ability to style the doll the way you think they should do or should be, and also to intermingle the outfits if you want, things like that. It's telling a story. It's showing visually what you like in style. And so to me, that's the main reason. And last but not least, I would just like to say that whether it's Star Trek figures, Simpsons figures, or Barbie doll, or Planet of the Apes, one of my other favorites, they're all figures, they're all some sort of toy. And as we all know growing up, toys are meant to bring happiness and sometimes joy to people. And for me, they certainly do. Take care, everybody, and I hope that this answers some of the questions I've got. Thanks.